Good evening, everybody. The moment is finally here. It is time for One Hub Racing's tier announcements for Season 28, powered by Delta.app, one of our title sponsors, well, our title sponsor for One Hub Racing. My name is Jess Ball, one of the owners of the league, and joining me to announce the tiers this evening, I almost said how many they are. Oh, it gives you a clue, doesn't it? We have the Welshman himself, Mr. Colin R. Mason. Colin, how you doing?
Evening, Jess. Evening, all. One Hub is back. We are back. I cannot wait. It feels like forever since we've been racing at One Hub, and it's not actually been that long, to be fair. But it's felt like absolutely yonks, and I can't wait for Sunday.
I'm excited. Yes, Sunday. We'll be racing on Sunday. We'll go through the calendar in just a moment, but all the drivers that pretty much wanted to sign up for Season 28, they had to take part in qualifying week. If they did not take part in qualifying week, did laps, they were kicked out. So that's why a few drivers that signed up weren't shown on SimGrid anymore. But let's get the line up for the leaderboards, Carl. Nikita was on top for 6 days, and Kevin was second for most of it as well. But a lot of names, including a Mr. Welshman that I do not recognise. Oh, I never heard of him. But it was very close between most of the drivers, Carl. I think quite a lot of drivers were within a second of the fastest time.
Yeah, so what I find astonishing, I think last season we had 2 drivers in the 11s. Mm-hmm. And now the entire top 10 got in the 11s. I wish you saw my reaction when I got an 11. First of all, I frightened the living monkeys out of Jess, made her crash. And Lukey, and I was literally doing cartwheels around the room. I was trying to improve my lap. I was improving by a few tenths, right? And then Colin said, "Oh my goodness,
got an 11. And then I lost a few temps. So thanks, Carl.
Yeah, that was, I was delighted with that lap. And maybe my new pedals that I was given for Christmas by Mum and Dad have helped me a little bit. I certainly hope so, and I certainly think so as well. So hopefully I'll have a better season than last season for one.
Yeah, because honestly, you had a bit of bad luck last season, to be fair. But no surprises. The top 10 that you see on your screen, you won't be surprised on what tier they're going to end up this season. But I'm not going to give anything away. But we got some exciting news, Colin. For the first time in like so many seasons now, because the amount of sign-ups that we've got, we managed to find a workaround where we've got 4 tiers this season, Colin. 4 tiers.
Yeah, absolutely brilliant. Now, but what's funny is everyone goes, 4 tiers. Oh, that's easier to sort out then.
It's not.
No way. It is actually the complete opposite, because the times are so close. There is far more crossover of tiers the more tiers you've got. We worked really, really hard over the last few days, making sure that everyone is in the best tier that we feel as though they could fit in. And I think we've done a very, very good job. I think we've made each tier incredibly exciting.
It is exciting. And for those of you that don't know how we decided, yes, we looked at the qualifying week times for a lot of our drivers, but there were certain drivers where we felt, that time, we felt like there could be more in it, or they did better last season than the time suggests. So we looked at performance from last season from the drivers that were existing. But if we felt like they've improved from the end of last season, we looked at their qualifying week times. But if they're a brand new driver to the league, or if they haven't raced at One Hub Racing for a long time, we looked at performance in other leagues, or for some of them, we just based it on their qualifying week time. So that's how we did it. And bearing in mind, there will be some people that will be pretty much crossover between 2 tiers, because that's how close it's going to be. So if you see, this guy's faster than me and he's in a lower tier, well, we don't just base it on qualifying times, Carl. We look at their overall race pace from the leagues that they're in and from One Hub last season, don't we, Carl?
Yeah, exactly that. We don't just look at the qualifying. That obviously gives us a good starting point, but it's not the be-all and end-all. We look at previous results. We look at your consistency. We look to see how you work compared to other drivers last season as well. And we work extremely hard to try and make sure everyone is in the right tier. But I think we have done a really good job.
And I think it took till 4 p.m. this afternoon for the final lot of drivers to be placed, because there was a few drivers we needed to double check about availability, but we got that firmed up at 4 p.m. today. So everyone now has been placed in a tier that has done a lap. There's certain drivers that haven't paid, tut. So we know who you are. If you have been placed for season 28 and haven't paid yet, please make sure you do before the start round 1. Otherwise, you'll get kicked and a place will be given to someone on the rate list. But talking of tiers, we don't want to keep them waiting any longer, do we? Because we've got places to be. Drivers have got to find out what tier they're in so they can start swaying. Are we ready to get the first tier announced, Cole?
Let's go for it.
Here we go then. So, sorry, carry on, Carl.
No. I was just going to say, is the chat ready, or we just... Who is everyone's pick for P4? Who thinks they might be in P4, I wonder?
I wonder as well. So I'm not going to reveal the slide that has all the announcements until most people in the chat are ready.
Nick Lukey.
So, right, go on. We want to see more hype in that chat. Go on.
Poor Lukey's getting... thanks, Riley. Yeah, cheers, mate.
There's people that... screw it. We can't keep them for very long. So... P4 is going to be at 3 p.m. at UK time. So if you get placed in P4, you'll be racing every Sunday at 3 p.m. And your drivers are as follows. Okan, we got Health Ticker, we got King Bryce, we have Reaper. I see Reaper in the chat anyway, so welcome to the league, Reaper. We have Kenzie, everyone at it, again, another person who I saw in the chat. We have Lynn Falk, Knight Cleor, Jack Craig, Jamie, Snake, Jake, Ivan, Riley, Shiesty and Titan. And you probably noticed, Colin, some TBAs, and there's spaces in pretty much every tier, isn't it, Carl? So what should drivers do if they haven't signed up and they feel like they could give it a go?
Yeah, so head into our head into our Discord, have a look on SimGrid, make sure you sign up, make sure you pay. We could then sort out getting a TT around Spain, and we can see what tier you'd fit into. But anyone in here looking at the stream and thinking, do you know what, I really fancy having a go at this, then please join the Discord, check us out on SimGrid, sign up, and we will get you in the tier.
Yes, and of course you need to pay. So but there's going to be spaces in every tier, basically. We wanted to make sure we have 4 tiers before the start of round 1. But looking at this, Colin, this is going to be the most open because we have a lot of drivers, pretty much most drivers, that are either brand new to the league or have taken a break and are back at One Hub Racing after a while. So I think the only people that have been at One Hub last season for the duration is Jamie and Jack Craig. Everybody else has only done it for a few races for one season, or have done seasons before, or have never raced in One Hub. So this is going to make the dynamics interesting, and it's going to be hard to call who I think is going to be drivers champion, because a lot of drivers will be brand new to league racing.
Yeah, and we got so many drivers here that have never, like you said, Jess, that haven't raced with us before. It's, damn near impossible to work out who's going to be in with the hunt. You've got to put a lot of money on Jamie. He is mega experienced.
The most experienced in P4 by mile.
Yeah, he's got that racing brain that he can rely on. Maybe some of these drivers are new to league racing. They're not used to that pressure. They're not used to wheel every week. And, they might make minor mistakes, things like, strategy errors and things like that. But James had a bit of a struggle last season, a little bit. He did have some good races, but I think he could be on to a winner here this season.
Yeah, I think Jamie could be winning a good shout. I think I've seen quite a few people in the chat for Lynn Falk. Lynn Falk, I felt like, was improving as the season goes on. So I think if I were a betting man, I think Lynn Falk could be a good shout for the title. But of course, the others we don't know. Jat, of course, struggled a bit last season. Hopefully, him being in a lower tier would help him increase his motivation and get him to fight for podiums a little bit. So it's really going to be close. But we've seen surprises with our new driver before. Look at Morgan, for example, in P2 last season.
Yeah.
Unknown. We didn't think he was going to win a title. Oh, it's going to be Salo. It's going to be Salo all day long. He improved race after race. After about a few races, he won his first race and he kept winning everything. And he won the title. So just because they're new doesn't mean they're slow. They could be in the running for the P4 championship.
Yeah, it's going to be very, very interesting. And, the experienced drivers in this tier, they're going to have quite a nice advantage. But they're going to have to make sure they use that experience wisely. Be aware that there could be drivers in this tier who are not used to league racing, which means that their awareness of other drivers isn't going to be as good as theirs, for example. So picking their maneuvers and when to overtake is going to be vital in this tier.
Yeah, so we made our predictions on who we think is going to be P4. So again, 3 p.m. Commentators, we'll talk about commentators at the end because we've got an announcement for that. But Colin, it is down to you now to reveal who's going to be in P3 tier, which will race at the normal time like last season at 4:30. Colin, you ready?
I'm ready.
Right, here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Hit it, Colin.
And there is your bids. So we have Whopping Proverb, JR Mason 54, some guy I seem to recognise. Matthias Adigo. Apologies if I've knackered that name. Rydog, Hockey Nye, Boney Fish, Iverbrin Mike, Jess, Quinn, Welsh Benjamin, M125, Gazaman, Headquist, Mikey, and Joe. And this, I think, is probably, in my opinion, the most competitive tier out of all three. All four, I should say. I think this one is going to be bonkers. I can't wait for this one, I got to be honest. And I'm going to give my predictions now. So I think I'm going to do a top three, but this is no particular order, all right? Don't pin me down yet.
Hit it, Carl.
Gazaman's going to be up there.
Agreed.
Quinn, cut the mistakes out. Drive
Matthias.
At 99%. And then, well, actually, I'm going to go for the person in number 9 position, Jess. That's going to be my my top three. That's my punt. What's everyone think in the chat? Who's your
top three
championship contender?
Right, I've got my predictions now where we let drivers think. And by the way, the crossover between P3 and P2 is quite small. So there could be drivers that we could definitely be comfortable racing in P3 and they would have no problem. They would dominate and vice versa. So it's going to be quite a crossover. So I'm going to go for my top three, not in any particular order. Gazaman, I agree. I'm going to go with Gazaman. I'm going to go with Rydog. And I'm going to be bold here. And Colin, you're going to hate me. JR Mason 54.
I think Dad's probably just spilt his gin thinking that one. But on the subject of Dad, I think it's... I know I'm biased. But I think what an achievement for a 71-year-old to get out of the bottom tier. I think it's astonishing.
For the first time in a while, actually.
Yeah, he had an absolute blinding season last year, got third in the championship, won a race, and did a brilliant lap in quali, I must say.
A few times quicker than me.
A fantastic lap. So I think I wouldn't rule him out for a good result, but I actually think that Iverbrin Mike is going to be right up there as well. He's going to be close to the top three. Yes.
Yeah, as long
he
as
needs to get the practice in.
As long as he's practiced, yeah. That's who I think as well. Quite a few people are predicting me for the championship over my dead body. maybe TVA Cole could bring in a surprise and win the championship. Only joking. So this is going to be a very good tier, I think, and quite a few drivers to mention. Of course, Proverb, I think, is going to fit in a lot better here because he's probably got more experience. M125 is back after a few seasons out, so it's great to have him. I think he's something to watch out for. And Mikey and Joe, I'm going to talk about these two in particular because they got the same thing in common, Cole. Those two, for the first time, are going to be on a wheel. So that's why that usually they would have the pace for P2. If they qualified on a pad, they would be in P2, no problem. But because they still get used to a wheel and their lap times, well, we're nowhere near a chance to get into P2. That's why they're in P3, just to get that experience. But they're too fast for P4, basically. So that's why we put them there. So we think, P2 last season, they should be there. No. We want to find a tier which is competitive and they can still get used to the wheel and still be competitive, right, Carl?
Yeah, exactly that, and it's going to be really interesting because I really, really admire drivers who can be fast on a controller. It blows my brain. I'd be in P44 if I had a controller. And what Mikey and Joe have done, in my opinion, is dramatically increased their ceiling cap of pace, basically, by transferring to the wheel. Yes, they will
Be
struggle to begin with. But after practice, they will, without a shadow of a doubt, be quicker. They'll have better tyre wear. They'll have more precision. And I think they're going to really enjoy it. It's far more immersive with the wheel.
Agreed.
And I think they're going to do really, really well. They might struggle in the first couple of rounds, but I think towards, once we come into the second half of the season, I think Mikey and Joe could be having a bit of fun on the podium, maybe.
I wonder if we could see those two being teammates. That will be good. That will be good. People that are trying to wheel together to be teammates, we'll have to wait and see on that one. So we revealed P3, and you got your predictions in the chat, and we are going to be announcing. I've just seen Nick's in the chat. What tiers Noah racing in? The God tier, Cole. The God
Higher
tier.
than Lukey.
Yeah, the God tier. Yeah, Noah Egan is going to be in the top tier, ladies and gentlemen, for season 28. The God tier. It's better than P1, hands down. Anyway, speaking of P1. We got the creme de la creme now. We know 10 of our drivers because we announced the leaderboard, didn't we, Cole? But who's the other 10? Are we ready to find out?
Let's rock and roll.
Here we go then. They're going to be racing on 7:30 p.m. UK time. We'll do P1 first, then P2, because it brings up a little bit of a suspense. So if you signed up, done your lap, and got paid, and you're not rebuilding this list, then hurrah, you're in P2. So in 3, 2, 1. So here we go. We have got Callum Unarmed, Marco, Jaco, Casper, Robite, Lakitu, Colin R. Mason. I don't think I've heard of him. Kevin, Senna, Atsalok, Alex, Owen, Mert, Matthew, Arnold, Morgan, Curry, and Chris. And there's two drivers called TBA. Are they twins or something? But that is our P1 tier for season 28. And you probably guess what tier you're in if you're not on this list. But P1 first. What a strong tier.
It is strong, isn't it? It's going to be very, very interesting, I think. I can't wait. The interesting thing is a lot of the guys here, we raced together last year. Me, Arnard, and J. Cole in particular, I think we decided to share each part of the track all the time. And Owen as well, especially around America. Owen and I had an absolutely brilliant race, wheel to wheel. And I think we're going to have a lot of fun here. I've got my teammate sorted as well for this tier.
Mine.
So
I've got mine for P3, so there we go. I should have said that, but I've got my teammate sorted as well. So don't bother messaging me in the chat because I've already got mine sorted. For probably the first time in a while, I've already got one sorted.
But I think I'm very impressed with Lakitu's time, I got to be honest. And Kevin's. Kevin, a very, very fast driver. But I actually think that the title's going to be between Callum and Senna.
I think differently, but I'll explain my thoughts in a minute.
Yeah, I think Callum is blindingly fast. A great driver. Brilliant wheel-to-wheel. I've never seen him, in the steward's room, I don't think. I don't think he's ever been in there. If he has, it's been, for the game giving him a daft penalty, He's a clean driver, very fair. I've had the pleasure of meeting him in real life as well, and he's a cracking bloke. Senna's he's a good mate of mine, and I'm hoping he'll do well as well. But his racing brain, there are two people in here who I think have got the best racing brain I've ever seen in league racing,
J.
and that's
Cole.
Senna and J. Cole.
Yeah. J.
Senna
Cole
and
and
J.
Senna
Cole.
are very smart.
They know when to push, when not to push, when to overtake, when not to. Apart from Canada, J. Cole. Spinning in front of me, giving me a stroke.
Yeah.
But no, it's going to be a brilliant tier. It's going to be really, really tight. I saw Axlock said washed lock, but a washed Axlock is still incredibly dangerous.
He almost got in top 3. I think he did get into. I can't remember if he got in top 3 or not, but he was close at least last season to the top 3.
I wouldn't trust him in a shopping trolley. He is going to be up there. He was unlucky quite a few times last season, to be honest. He should have had a couple of race wins. It just didn't go his way. I think this season that it'll be Axlock, Callum, and Senna for the top 3. But the thing is, it's so tight.
It could be anyone's game.
It could be blimmin' anyone, really. I mean, I'm looking there going, oh, I've changed my mind 9 times just even looking at it.
There's about 8 drivers who could be title contenders. I'm almost certain about that. Now, let me do my analysis, but first of all, let me do my top 3 first, because I'm surprised you haven't mentioned 2 of them. But I agree with you. Callum, I think, is going to be champion. Marco P2. And he's going to hate me that I jinxed him. No, it's not you, Cole. It's not the days of Sandero. My pick for P3 in the title is Casper. His motivation for league racing has gone up quite a lot over the last few months. And he's looking for motivation again. He got really unlucky last season. So I think he could be up there in the top 3, I would say. Nice to see some people from our P2 champion moving over to P1. Of course, that's kind of precedent, isn't it, Cole, that the P2 champion moves over to P1, so, and the P2 champion, the P3 champion moves over to P2, and obviously our P1 champion is not there. There we go. It's like Formula 2 all over again. So nice to see him there. Of course, we don't know what our new drivers could do. Mert and Matthew, their lap times in qualifying night were very, very impressive. Obviously, it's a bit of an unknown, but with Mert and Matthew, I can't wait to see what they can do in race trim. Kevin and Lakitu, they're fast qualifiers, but race pace, I think they will need to improve if they want to contend for the title. Chris, I think he could struggle a little bit, but due to his timing availability, P1's the only tier he could do. But if he can match some of the lower drivers in pace, then he should have a good time in that tier. I agree, Senna is going to do well. I'm excited that Senna's back. And, of course, J. Cole's race pace and strategy is next to none. So those are the drivers I'm picking out on. But there's a few other drivers that have done well in the last few seasons that we got to mention as well. But, yeah, this will be the first season in the world where the P1 champion will not be defending their crown. Kieran is not racing this season, Carl. So we'll have a new P1 champion.
Yeah, which is really exciting. I'm really surprised he didn't want to defend it. I got to be honest. Like J. Cole said, he's done a Rosberg. But I would like to give a shout out to Chris, to be honest, because he's a controller driver and he's going that quick. Baffles my brain. It really does. I don't understand how he can be that quick on a controller. It just doesn't make sense to me at all. And he had a bit of misfortune last season as well, but you look at his results towards the end of the season and they were so much better. I'm really hoping that he has a really good season. And he's a legend of one Hobart, Chris. So it's great to have him in the league with us again.
And I think with the lineup, I can almost definitely say who I think Chris is going to be paired with this season. If you've been in one hub for a long time, you'll know you'll know who I'm talking about. But if you don't, I'll say no more. So we revealed P1. Now, if you haven't been revealed yet and you've done all the requirements to sign up for season 28, then it doesn't take rocket science to know what tier you're gonna be in. But Colin, let's reveal who's gonna be P2 for season 28 at 6 p.m. UK time in 3, 2, 1, go.
And there's your lineup. So we have Lukey, Waitsy, Mr. Zontal, Jacob, Kinney, Mokwe, Adam, Max, Rich, Cam, Jonas, Jason, Alexa, Lawrence, Seiko, Nicholas, Larkin, and Salo. What a stat grid that is. That is crazy. That's a brilliant tier. I can't wait to watch that. I really can't. Don't ask me to call that one. I'm looking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I can see at least 10 drivers who are going to win races there.
I agree. I think it's like last season, isn't it? Where it was all so close. This season is going to be even closer, I think. We got so many drivers that have got potential to prove themselves. Alexa, honestly, struggled. Yes, he had the time, which was good enough for P1 tier, but his race pace he was struggling with the P1 guys. So we thought moving him down to P2, where we felt like his race pace will shine even more, that is good. I'm so excited to see what Jacob could do in a full season in P2, because towards the end of last season in P2, he was incredible. He was matching the top guys. If there was more space in P1, we would put him in there. But there's 4 drivers that we'll have to put him there in there as well. So we couldn't put Jacob in P1 for the time being. Zonto and Kinney were forced last season when they joined P3. They were too quick, so we moved them over to P2. They settled in very well in P2. Nicholas. Now, Colin, you're familiar with this guy, aren't you? Because he raced in P3 last season. But I have to say, out of all the laps I've seen in qualifying week, this driver that was the one who impressed me the most, because I didn't think he was going to go that quick. And the reward is that he goes in P2. Well deserved for a P3 driver from last season.
Yeah, brilliant. Tremendous performance. But I actually disagree with a couple of comments there. So Larkin has said Salo, Jacob, and Lukey. And I think he's doing himself a disservice there, because I really think
shut up, Larkin.
Larkin will definitely be up there. He might be playing the old we'll play it down a bit tactic.
No.
But Larkin's going to be up there. Lukey's going to be up there. Waitsy hasn't played the game for a while, like competitively and consistently. So he's going to be a bit rusty to begin with.
He has raced in another league.
He has, yes. But I think come the second half of the season, and Waitsy's going to be getting podiums as well. Mokwe, he's going to be up there without a shadow of a doubt.
It's impressed with his time.
I mean, if it rains, guys, don't bother. Just let Cam win. The guy is bonkers in the rain. It's ridiculous. He makes Michael Schumacher look like he was rubbish in the rain. Honestly, it was crazy. But that is a brilliant grid. It's going to be tight. That grid is all about... Larkin, Lukey, and Kinney.
I'm going to go with... I don't know, because I've got 4 drivers. I'm going to go with Larkin, Lukey. Oh, there's 2 that could be 3rd and 4th. Sod it. I'm going to be bold. Jacob. There you go.
Wow.
Our P3 champion will be P3. The reason why I was going, I was torn between Jacob and Solal. And we predicted Solal last season for the champion, and he never did it. And I'm going to say this now, and I'm probably going to kick myself if this doesn't happen. And a lot of people in the chat are already saying this already. Solal needs to win a race. He's got to. He's got the pace to do it. There was a few times last season where he won on track, but he lost it due to a penalty in-game or stewards. I mean, he's got to. And now I'm not in the same tier. I could just be in his chat saying, go on, Salah, or whatever. But yeah, Colin, do you agree Salah needs to win a race this season?
100%. And I was having a good chat with Salah the other night as well. And I don't think he needs to improve. What he needs is to give himself confidence. He needs to have more faith in himself, more belief, borderline arrogance, really. When those lights go out, you've got to think that you can win the race. And he needs to have a bit more self-belief. And if he can do that, then he'll win races. He's a brilliant driver. He doesn't need to be a better driver to win races in this tier, in my opinion. He just needs to have a little bit more self-confidence and almost a sod it attitude. I'm going to do my best regardless and flat out every lap, and see how he gets on, but not put pressure on himself, and don't kick himself when he makes a minor error. Just forget about it. Do you know what I mean? Easier said than done, I grant you. But I actually think Salah's going to win more than one race this season.
Oh, I think we said that with Morgan, didn't we? Like when it got to a point where he was quick and he didn't win races, and then bang, he ran a few in a row. That could be Salah. That could be Salah, I think, as well. So that's all of our drivers. And of course, there were people that didn't do laps and all didn't get paid. So they're not on this list and they'll be put on the waiting list. But like I was saying earlier, if you see the lineup and you think, I could race in this league, make sure you join our Discord. We're doing !Discord, and then sign up on SimGrid, and you'll need to do a time trial lap around Spain, and then we will evaluate, look at your performance in another league, and see which will be the best tier for you to fit into, basically. So we're now approaching the point of the stream where we reveal what's going to happen next, because we had quite a few drivers in the chat that are thinking, so how do I apply for this? How do I apply for this? Well, this is how you do it. I'll go through the steps first and I'll go through a demo in a minute. So basically the team contract system is where we've got everyone could apply for any team they want within reason. There's certain criteria that you have to reach. Only 10 drivers will get a contract with that team. It's up to those 10 drivers in each tier to decide who will be their teammate. But like myself and Colin, for example, if you've already agreed a teammate, you can put that in the ticket, which we'll go through that in a minute. So you can apply for as many teams as you want. I would advise you apply for as many teams as you want, because you're more than likely going to get a team otherwise. And then we'll give you a few days to do that, and then you'll have to wait. And then our head of teams, Jamie, will put in the ticket if you've been accepted for the teams you applied for. And if you haven't, they'll explain the reason why. If you haven't been selected, then you'll have to message someone who's got a contract to say, oh, hey, could I be teammates? And failure to do any of these things, then the head of teams will have to sort out a team for you, and you could be with someone that you don't like, and you do not want that. But Colin, for our new drivers in particular, any advice to give to them for applying for team contracts before I do the demo?
Yeah, so if you've got a teammate in mind and they are more experienced in one hub than you, get them to apply for you, because they will have better stats than yourself. So if you would apply as a new driver, you wouldn't be eligible for the top teams. But if your teammate has been in one hub for a couple of seasons, they might be able to apply, and then they can select you as a teammate. So there you can see on the bottom right under the screen the criteria to drive for those particular teams. It will be on the Discord.
It will be on the Discord as well, so you don't have to write it all down. It will all be on the Discord for you very, very soon once you get your driver roles.
Yeah, exactly that. And hopefully everyone gets the teammate and the car that they're hoping for.
And And if you've already agreed a teammate, then great. You could start by agreeing the teammates now if you want to. If you think, oh right, that'll be good. I wouldn't mind teaming up with that person. Then yeah, you could go for it. We have no objections of doing that. We also seen some situations where nobody's applied for a top team apart from a rookie. And yes, it didn't meet the criteria, but no one else applied for it. So that rookie got the seat. So just because you are a rookie, it doesn't mean you can't apply. It's just your chances will be better. The only chance you will get a top team is either no one else applies or someone who has got more experience applies for you. It's as simple as that. So without further ado, we are going to be showing you how we apply for tickets. So I'm going to share my screen as if by magic. There we go. So this is going to be a demo ticket. So I'm not going to tell you who my teammate is. So if anyone thinks, oh yeah, I'm just going to be doing a pretend ticket. So you're going to go on to the ticketing and you're going to go on to team contract. So you should see that here. And then you should see all the stuff that I was talking about. Then we've got the team criteria from last season. So that's one thing to mention, Cole. I'll get it up on my screen now, actually, before I carry on with the demo. There is criteria in each of the teams that you have to meet. If you meet it, you're allowed to wait in that team next season. If you don't, you can't. Unless someone does meet the criteria as a new driver or have met the criteria last season and can apply for you. Again, that's all on the Discord. So check the Discord if you raced last season, and if you got a green tick, you meet the criteria, and if you want to apply for that team, you can. And you can also apply for teams which are higher than that as well. If you got a big red X, unfortunately, you can't apply for that team, but you can apply for any other team. So hopefully that comes into fruition. So you go on to team contract.
And I'm interrupting. And if your one hub server is that far down in your Discord list, Jessica Ball, you get given an F2 car.
I've got
What's it doing all the way down there?
Shut up. I can't be asked to sort out my server list, okay? But make sure, because I've seen many people saying, I can't find the ticket. You scroll up, create ticket here, so you see that. And then, hopefully, you'll have to scroll all the way down again. Oh, where is it? There's people that are applying already, silly sausages. Nick, this is going to be a demo ticket. So what you would do is you will rename the ticket to your PSM name. So I'm going to be calling it Joe Vlogs 123. So this ticket will be deleted, don't worry. And then you will put all the teams you want to go for. So this Joe Blogs has met the criteria for some middle teams. So, well, I'm just going to put some random teams for now. So I'm going to go Aston Martin, McLaren. The management are going absolutely crazy, by the way. Aston Martin, McLaren, Racing Bulls. You can apply for as many teams as you want. And then you would, if you've already got a teammate, add it to the ticket to say, Colin's going to be Joe Blog's teammate. I would add him. And I would say Colin will be my teammate. And do not close it, because that is when Jamie will need it open for it to do it. I'm going to delete that ticket because I'll need to apply for. I need to apply at some point. And Colin, it's not first come first served, is it? I know some people I can see have already done their tickets, but it's it's not first come first served. It's all about the stats.
Yeah, exactly that. So just because you put your name in first does not mean you get that car. It's all down to the I can't even say it. Statistics.
Yeah, all down to the statistics and whether you met the criteria last season. So if you have any questions, speak to Jamie. Jamie is the know-it-all for it. So if you have any questions about the team contract, speak to Jamie. And the team contract should be sorted by Friday, and then we'll have every lineup sorted by Sunday, and we'll reveal it, Colin, in the pre-race talk show, which we haven't decided what time yet because we have P4 on at 3 p.m. now, so we may need to go on a bit later, like at 10 a.m. or something. But it will give more people to do the weather and stuff. So yeah, any final thoughts on the team contract before we talk about the calendars? Colin, you're on mute.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I was on mute. My apologies. No, that's so. Like Jess said, and like we've said before, it's all about the statistics, which Jamie controls. So if you have any queries or questions, you could file them across to Jamie. He is our team contracts wizard. And obviously you don't want to go in a red Ferrari, you don't.
No. By the way, I've been told by Nick.
Decent team.
I've been told by Nick, do not apply yet. Do not. I'm closing all the tickets. So do not apply. I know you can see it on your screen, but it's not open yet. So I'm deleting it. So do not apply yet. Otherwise, you more than likely won't get your team. So we will give you a mention when you could apply, but not yet. But let's reveal what's going to happen for the rest of the pre-season. I need to find the calendar. No, I can't find it. Never mind. So we'll go through the season calendar for you. So the drivers are going to be racing Barcelona on the 15th. That track rings a bell. I think everyone's going to be sick of it by then. We got Spielberg for round 2. We got Australia, Silverstone, Hungary, Suzuka, Bahrain, Jeddah, China, Miami, Abu Dhabi, and we're finishing the championship on Las Vegas. No sprint races, Carl, and we have got our adaptive weather system, so we could have a wet Abu Dhabi like we did a few seasons ago. But let's not make that happen, please. But we'll go through all the new features very soon, but just not this stream. Otherwise, we will have no time, Carl. But this is a very stacked calendar.
That's a brilliant calendar. I'm just looking now. Which one am I looking forward to the most? Silverstone. I love it.
Yep, Silverstone's my favourite.
Las Vegas can do one.
Oh, I like Las Vegas. I'm good at Las Vegas.
Oh, I'm going to get lapped there. Suzuka.
Yes.
Absolute blinder.
Do you know who else likes Suzuka?
Australia. Oh, I didn't spot that. I forgot about Melbourne. Mike just saw it in the chat. Melbourne. I love that track. It's actually my most successful circuit in league racing by an absolute country mile.
Same here. I won my first league race win there.
Love that one. But Mikey, I will say, will have his best round at Suzuka, round 6.
I've been Mike, not
Suzuka specialist.
Ride Dog thinks he likes Melbourne. Gazza as well. It's Gazza's birthday in Australia in round 3, so that's going to be exciting. That's a week before the actual Australian Grand Prix, so the drivers will get a taste before the real life drivers. That is cool. I'm going to pick a few. I like Silverstone. That's a good track. Japan, I like that as well. But I think one of my favourites, I'm always good around there. No matter what you do, I just always get bad luck. Abu Dhabi. Abu Dhabi is so much fun. And of course, Las Vegas, as long as it doesn't rain. But there we go. So that is your calendar for season 28. We'll go through the sponsors in just a moment, Carl. But any final thoughts for tier announcement before we have to go through our obligatory sponsor promo?
Just while I remember, and it's in my head because I got a memory like a sieve, there will be a stream on Friday evening. Now, it's a steward stream. Obviously, we haven't had any races, but it is really important, especially for the new drivers, to have a look at that and be involved in that stream. We will be going through unique OneHub rules that we have and unique settings that we use, and it'll get you a little bit more up to date with OneHub. Also, check out the tutorial videos that are in there's a link in the Discord to the tutorial videos, and they're on YouTube, and they go through every aspect of what we do here at OneHub. So make sure you watch and absorb that information, because Jess, it could mean that you get a prize at the end of the year.
Yep, exactly. Good segue, actually, Mr. Colin R. Mason, because that's what I'm going to go through now. So, our Drivers' Champions for Season 28. First place gets some merchandise from Vespertine, as you can see on your screen, and a trophy. Second place gets a OneHub class hoodie with a trophy. And third place gets a cap with a trophy. I still need to get a cap, actually. And hopefully some of you got the bundles when you signed up, so you'll hopefully be getting those soon, fingers crossed. Constructors Championship prizes. Of course, we can't make our Constructors predictions until we know who's partnering with who. But if you win the Constructors Championship, you get a first place trophy and free entry into next season, and that's for you and your teammate. Let's go through our sponsors now before we wrap up. So, Next Level Racing. I should have revealed one sponsor first because they're the important one, but I'm used to revealing this sponsor first, so I'm going to deal with it. Next Level Racing, they're always good at providing Fridays every year, and we'd like to thank them for that. More information about those will be to be confirmed, so keep an eye on our socials at OneHub Racing for more information. And if you guys could probably tell, I'm probably stalling because I need to get the notes about this next sponsor, because otherwise I will get it wrong. Oh, I thought I put this sponsor in. Obviously, I didn't. There we go. Got ya. I should have checked. Our next sponsor is our title sponsor, Delta.app. They're our title sponsor of the league, and you can get all your investments in one app. Make smart decisions like the world's top investors and track your journey to success with Delta. Do !Delta in the chat to click the link to install the Delta app for all your investment needs. You're welcome. Next, we got sim racing setups that provide a pro setup bundle for F1 25 created by top esport drivers. They offer dry, intermediate and wet setups. There's also two types of dry setups, safe and esports, and they also provide strategy tips and a track map on when to use ERS during qualifying, which is the meta around it. So thank you to them, and you can also use the code OneHubRacing to get 5% off. Our sponsors, Pure Sim Gear, are providing Friday's sim racing socks and gloves to the driver with the most fastest laps and poles over the course of the season. You can also use the code OHR10P to get 10% off their sim racing gloves and socks. Our partners, Vespertine. We're partnered with Vespertine, who support our official apparel and also provide some really great merch prizes. And also we have a code where you can get 5% off. So if you want to shop on our store, you can use the code OneHub to get 5% discount on your favourite league merch. And they're also providing prizes for the Going Gets Tough Award and our rankings as well. We also got our charity, Mental Health Foundation. Last Thursday was Time to Talk Day, and I felt like it's very important. If you are struggling, make sure you get the support you need. Mental Health Foundation is brilliant in leading the charge to help people get better with their mental health. And finally, to our partners at SimGrid, that's what we use to get people to sign up, and we can still get sign ups to this day because we still got spaces, and they provide our standings as done by our lovely Cam. So yeah, without that we'll be doing Google Sheets everywhere. So there we go. So that is our sponsors for season 28. Without that, we couldn't do without it. So thank you so very much for watching. Keep an eye on the Discord. We will add your tier roles in just a moment. You'll also be told your tier coordinators. That will still be finalised. Do not apply for team contracts until you get mentioned by Nick. He's the big boss. If anyone applies before that, you will not get your chosen team. That is it then. But make sure you join us this Friday. Carl, at what time?
7 o'clock, I think.
7 o'clock for Inside the Stewards Room. We're hosted by Nick and Colin. Then we've got the pre-race talk show at time to be confirmed on Sunday. So thanks for watching. Make sure you get to know your people in your tier, because that's who you're going to be racing with this season. And if you haven't signed up yet, sign up. And if you're interested in being a commentator, please message me, because we are looking for co-commentators, and that also includes people that are racing with us, because say if you're racing in P1, you can commentate on P2, P3, P4. If you're racing in P4, you can commentate on P3, P2, P1, etc. You can commentate on the tiers that you want, because there's an hour and a half difference. But anyway, I've been Jess, he's been Mr. Welshman, and happy team contract signing, but not yet, because Nick hasn't said so. But yeah, we will see you on Friday for Inside the Stewards Room.
Yes, good night all. See you Friday.